K6USY.
Yeah, you're loud and clear. K6USY, A6S. Mucho strong here in Visalia. Go ahead.
Very good. You must not have your amp on yet. You're like S0, but I hear you in there. And hi, John.
Yeah, it's
here in the background.
Let me see. Yeah, okay. It's warmed up. K6USY, A6S. Is that better?
Yeah, you're up at like S5, S6 now, so yeah, big difference.
Yeah, that sounds good. I could probably come over a little bit on you. I don't know if it'd make any difference. Might go down, it might come up. Anyway, K6USY, A6S.
Yeah, very good there, Bill. Yeah, just getting things started here, and people on the internet can hear us, but I think I'm the only one watching the stream right now. But it is working, and we'll see how many people we get on 432 tonight. Back to you.
Yeah, Roger, Aaron. K6USY, A6S. I was looking on the computer and saw that KW6S was working some zero there on 50 meg, so I turned mine on here. That was a little while ago. I don't hear anything. So anyway, he's in a different spot, so that's a lot better area than right here where I am. I'll go ahead.
Yeah, I've been gone today, so I haven't been paying attention to the, but yeah, according to DX Maps, there's not too much activity on 6 meters right now. So I worked New Zealand the other day, so that was fun. Gave me another country on 6 meters.
Yeah, congratulations. I heard a VK4. No, I didn't hear him. I saw him on the computer. Anyway, maybe John, like, talk him into coming over and figuring out how to make this thing of mine log. I'm a computer idiot. I can read them, I can transmit to them, and they come back to me, and I get good reports, but they don't get logged. Aaron, go ahead.
Yep, but if they don't get logged and uploaded to the logbook of the world, then they don't really count, right?
I guess. I don't know, unless you hand write it down.
Yeah, I was just looking at my list here. I have seven countries on 6 meters, and that's all just with 100 watts and a whole loop.
I remember one time back about, oh God, it's got to be 40 years ago. I worked 200 and some JAs, and I forgot to turn my amplifier on 10 watts. Go ahead.
That's pretty good opening, though, if you didn't need the amplifier.
Yeah, it was all in sideband. I think I worked every JA. I've worked all the JAs, all the VKs, and all the ZLs. All that stuff a long time ago. Go ahead.
Yeah, the fun one was a few months ago. I worked Norfolk Islands, VK9DX. So that's kind of a rare one, but it just happened to be in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, I think I worked that one too eons ago, the VK9. Anyway, that's ancient history there. That was fun on sideband. I don't really care for this computer stuff. Aaron, go ahead.
Yep, yeah, it's all good. But yeah, it's all radio and it's all fun, as John says.
Yeah. I could work them here and not even be here. That's what's the joke.
Oh, I've done that. I've operated FT8 remotely when I'm at the office. So, at least, there's somebody still, there's still somebody at the helm. But yeah, you can you can work FT8 and not even be here. The funny thing is when I go do Parks on the Air and I do FT8, the app on my phone will work stations unattended. I can literally just leave my phone connected to the radio and it will just work stations until I tell it to stop.
That's pretty neat. Yeah, it's getting close to, about 3 minutes, I guess, in that time. K6USY, A6S.
Yep, and I'm going to come back up to net frequency. I dropped down a little bit. You're a little low on frequency, but not terrible.
Yeah, I don't know how much. I'll come up. Came up 100 cycles or so. Is that better?
Yep, that sounds a little bit better. So we got to get one of these Leo Bardner boards in your radio.
Yeah. Actually, it made you real high-pitched when I came up, so I tune, I guess, for a little lower with my hearing aids on. I'll take anything that I can understand what the guy's saying. Aaron, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, very good. Yeah, when I heard, how relatively inexpensive the Leo Bardner system was, I'm like, oh, all that just so that I can tell people that they're off frequency? Oh, yeah, that's great. So made the investment, and then there's a couple of us running them, so it's nice because we're all locked into the same frequency.
Yeah, Roger. As long as I can hear the guy, I'm happy.
Yeah, I don't know, I get kind of OCD. I like to see all those zeros at the end.
Well, I ain't going to see any zeros on this one. It's showing 709 cycles high on the thing.
Yeah, usually these radios are pretty good. I know they do drift a bit on 1296. That was the other thing that was driving me nuts is, as you transmitted and then let the radio cool off, it would drift a little bit. So I was like, let's just put the Leo Bardner board on there. But alrighty, yeah, it's almost 7:30. We'll stand by for our fearless whistle. K6USY DMO6.
Yeah, Roger, A6S. W6AHA, A6S, where are you, Mike?
A6S, W6AHA.
Oh, that sounds better. Anyway, I can hear you. You're loud and clear. Loud and clear there. Sounding good, Michael. Go ahead.
Roger, just turned everything on.
Well, it's working.
Don't forget to talk to Mike.
Oh, you mean to see if anybody he knows might want the milling machine I've got? I'll ask him.
10-4.
Rubber duck.
What are you going to ask me? K6MYC.
Oh, K6MYC, A6S. I got a milling machine out in the garage that I don't use anymore. I bought it when I was building the hi-fi stuff. Very little use on it. All I did, I think I probably used it to make about, maybe cut 15 meter panel holes, and that's about it. It's a Jet, I think it's an 18-inch. Mike had one just like it, and he sold his. And I'm not planning on using it anymore, so I got to see if anybody wants it. I've also got out in the shed, I was trying to get Mike to take it, but he won't. I got a 30S1 amplifier that needs to be, as somebody that knows what they're doing, I could do it, but I don't have the ambition to work on the thing, if you know what I'm saying, Mike. I've got 5 linear amplifiers. I don't even have any place to set it on the floor here in the room. And so any guy, see if somebody wants a project thing to make a 30S1 amplifier work. And it's got a Peter Dahl transformer and the high voltage and all that stuff, but front panel looks good. It's got some scratches on it. But other than that, it's savable. Anyway, that's the skinny here, Mikey. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, that's worth a lot of money, even if, because it's a Collins. The Collins 30, everything with the Collins name is worth a lot more than it really is worth. So you won't have any trouble getting rid of that if you get it on the right market. I think if you put it on QTH.com or something like that, then the word to get around that you have it, it will go very quickly. 4-1000 in the final of that. I used one. They're a good amp, really nice amp. Can you, is this a manual mill that you got? When you said 18-inch, I don't know what that means. Is that the 18-inch of travel?
I think that's what it is. Yeah, it's a Portuguese job, manual, Joe Franken manual, Michael, or Mikey, I should say. Yeah, it's a jet. It's a beautiful milling machine. It's got the base and everything for it. Everything I have is jet. The breaker, the benders, the drill press, and everything is all jet. And I just don't need it anymore. It's buried in the corner, and I got to do like Mike did with his and unload it, find somebody who wants it. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, it may be that Matt would want it for his own personal shop. We've got the big CNC mills at work, and we have a couple of big manual mills like Haas and stuff, but it may be perfect for a home bench mill. I have one like that. And I think mine is similar to yours. I can't remember what mine is, but it's a mills are very handy for little light stuff, and you can just do 90% of what you're going to do on a small mill, and not production type stuff. Do you know the model number? I'll just tell Matt it's a mill. It's an 18-inch jet mill, manual. And do you have any idea what you'd like to get?
I think I need to get about. Mike sold his for $25. I'd be happy to get $2,000, a couple of grand for it, and somebody's got to have a flatbed or something because this mother is heavy. I mean, I had to use an engine puller just to set it on top of the base there. So it's pretty heavy. Mikey, go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds like it's a little bigger than mine. I couldn't lift mine either, but it's not. I think it's probably 200 or 300 pounds at the most.
This thing, Mike, do you remember how much that thing weighs? It's more than a couple 300 pounds, isn't it?
Yeah, it's about 400. I think you got a JMD 15. You need to verify it.
A JFD 15, you say?
10-4.
What was the number again, Mike?
JMD Juliet Mary Delta -15.
Okay, well, JMD something 5. I missed the letter. You're a little scratchy. You got a bad voice tonight, or?
JMD 15.
Oh, JMD 15 jet. Okay, very good. He's still here, but let me just step around the corner for a second. You guys hold it. I'll be right back, and I'll just ask him if he has any interest. Just stand by.
You need to go out and read your nameplate, Bill.
I'll go out there and look at it.
Well, I will make just a little bit of noise and just say that W6BBS72 is here for whatever it is worth.
Hi, Frank. K6USY.
Hello, K6USY.
Hello, Frank, WA68AJ.
Good evening to you. I must be pointed wrong. You sound a little weak, but I hear you okay. Top of the evening, Mike, right?
Okay, yeah, I'm just now getting up to the north to you, so maybe hopefully that's better.
Oh, yeah, you came from S0 to S9 almost instantly there, so yeah, much better.
All righty.
Good evening, all. KM6SRR, number 432.
How you feeling, Rob?
Not so good. I'm negative on the COVID, but the sinus stuff is really knocking me down. Over.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Hey, Rob.
Yeah, go ahead, Frank.
Hey, I've battled that a couple of times here recently, and ultimately, all the cold remedy type stuff and all that, I ended up with Claritin was what fixed me. It was being caused by allergies, and within a couple of days, the Claritin knocks it down pretty good and seems to control it. Over.
Okay, I got to get to the store. I don't even feel like doing that, so we'll figure it out. Thanks.
Who am I talking to with that condition?
I agree with the Claritin. It's a Juliet Mike Delta 15, the one I have, Mikey.
I got it. Now, Matt doesn't need one, but I'll talk it around a little bit. I've got a couple of other friends and relatives that may be interested. Who was the guy that was talking with that's sick? I couldn't recognize the voice.
Yeah, I gave my call sign earlier. This is number 432 KM6SRR.
Oh, was that you, Rob? My God, I didn't even recognize you. Okay. And it wasn't COVID, so I guess you didn't need ivermectin.
Yeah, QSL.
How you doing, Rob? That Claritin does work good. That's the only thing that works for me.
Same here. Claritin does the job for me as well. Wonderful. I use the ones that are tongue tabs. They melt in your mouth, and boy, are they fast acting. In 15 minutes, you can feel it.
Roger, that's what I use.
You can get them anywhere, and they're very, very good. They I don't know how it's described in the box, but if you talk to any pharmacy, they know what you want. Tell them the ones that melt on your tongue when it's not a pill. It's a little tablets in a little. It's sealed, of course, and you open up the seal, and then you take this little soft pill-like thing, and you just put it on your tongue. In about 10 seconds, it's dissolved over.
Okay, sounds good. I'll need some. I'll get to the store to get them over.
Yeah, that may be the pollen that's in the air. There's a lot of pine pollen and other stuff around. Who knows? It's probably an allergy at this time of the year. We need to rain badly. By this time, normally there would be a rain and all that stuff would be washed out of the air. Okay, let's see who we got. I got, who do I have here? I got 800-727, I think Mike is here. I got 432 and 72. Who else is here?
1079 and 1100 K6USY.
Hey, Mike, it's not due to allergies, I don't think. It started out as a sore throat way down deep in my throat and moved on up. And it's smacking my sinuses and giving me a headache and all, too. So I'm not so sure it's allergies. Over.
Well, the Claritin don't hurt you. It does open your nose, and you'll tell right away. And they're not terribly expensive, and they're good for the next time you do get an allergy attack. Over.
Yep, QSL. I just got to get some.
Okay. All righty. So we're missing Carrie. Yeah, I wonder where Carrie is tonight. I'm pointed down south, I believe. Yes, I'm pointed down south. So we want to see if N6SWR is in here, and also Rick, KB6RQU, should be on. How about the old 61? Are you here?
Yeah, Bozo 61 here. KB6RQU.
There he is. Good morning. Good evening, 61. You're sounding a little ragged, but that's Moldy Path on the path tonight. Very good. Let me turn it over to you, Bill, and you could say hello to Rick down there, and then maybe we can try and see if Ben is in there, N6SWR. AA6S and the group, K6MYC.
Yeah, real fine, Mikey. K6MYC, AA6S. Yeah. Good evening, Rick. KB6RQU. The signals are not real good from everybody tonight for some reason. I guess there's cold weather here around here. Yeah, well, I'm putting out the power. The news wire looks okay, so I guess everything's working right. Anyway, back over to you there, Rick. You sound good. KB6RQU. AA6S, over.
AA6S, yeah. Good evening. KB6RQU. Good live and 9 plus. You're sounding fine. Everyone else has got multi-path on them.
Yeah, what happened, Rick?
I don't know. I'm talking to you.
You just stopped talking, Bill.
Okay, I got it. Yeah, you said multipass, and that was it. I didn't know if you were done or what. Anyway, you sound okay here, but no stop on the multipass on all the mountains. Have you heard Ben? I'll see if Ben's here while I'm pointed in that direction. Anyway.
N6SWR is in there. I hear you, Ben. You got to wait till Bill gets done talking, though. You're talking almost strong as Bill is on the back of the beam. N6SWR, good evening, Ben. We got your 247, and then you can turn it over to Bill, AA6S. Go ahead, Ben.
We got double. KB6RQU, Ben, it's your turn.
He doesn't seem to be hearing. N6SWR, K6MYC, Ben.
Roger, K6MYC, N6SWR, code number 247. You're booming in here tonight.
Yeah, Roger. Well, you're doing fine, and a good copy here. Let's see, Rick. Rob. Do you want to say hello to Ben, and then we can get it down to Bill?
Okay, I'm barely hearing Ben tonight. My voice doesn't sound like normal. How you doing, Ben? N6SWR, KM6SRR.
Roger, I copy you, Mike. Hopefully, Rob, hopefully you start feeling better. You sound a little bit under the weather on the radio, and I want to say hi to Rick as well. I can hear him coming out of Isabella area, Weldon area, talking to you guys. He's pretty loud as well tonight. N6SWR, back to net.
Thanks, Ben. KM6SR, back to net.
Okay, down to you, Bill, so you can connect, and then maybe Mike also wants to try with Ben down there, and Rick could probably, Rick, I said a couple of words to him, but they may want to finish up. AA6S in the group, K6MYC.
Yeah, real fine. N6SWR, N6SWR, Ben, you're Q5 here in Visalia, no problem. And I hope everything's going well there. N6SWR, AA6S, over.
Roger, you're loud and clear. You're really loud tonight. The estimator doesn't seem stingy on you, but the volume and tone and clarity is thank you much. N6SWR.
Yeah, Roger. QSL. Back to net there. Maybe AAJ. You want to give him a call, Michael?
Yeah, I'll give him a shot. He's a little weak for me. KM6 SWR, this is WA6 AAJ. Over.
Yeah, I hear it here. You want to repeat your call again?
WA6 AAJ. Whiskey Alpha 6. Alpha Juliet. Over.
Alpha 6, Alpha Juliet.
Whiskey Alpha 6. WA6. Over.
Roger. Whiskey Alpha Juliet.
Whiskey Alpha 6. Alpha Juliet. America, Japan.
Roger, I got that time. WA6 Alpha Juliet. Yeah, you're a little bit in the mud there, but I'm sure it's all me with this tiny antenna.
All right, very good. Made the contact. Thank you.
Roger, and that's all I can do with 35 watts.
You're doing pretty well. How about you, Rick? You want to say another hello to Ben, and then we'll let him get out of here, and we'll head over toward Santa Cruz and look for anybody else that might be on here in the valley. Alpha 6 Sugar, K6MYC. I'm sorry, it should go down to Rick. KB6RQU. Go ahead, Rick, K6MYC.
Yeah, N6SWR, KB6RQU, good evening.
Roger, you also are really loud. Signal stakes really like a head 1 or 2, but you're off the chart on clarity and signal stakes.
How you doing? Good, Ben. 5 and 2 here tonight. Everything's holding pretty steady with you, over.
Yeah, everything's good. Everything's good here. You're 25 plus, very loud, nice and clear, easy to copy.
Very good. Okay, 73. Go ahead, Mike.
Okay, very good. Well, good to have all the guys in there. You guys have operated your stations. It's good to hear you, Rick. You've been on for quite a while, but quite consistent now up here. And Ben, you're consistently good tonight. I haven't missed a word. So other than when you were covered, a couple of words were buried in the QR Mary here. Anyway, Ben, thank you very much for coming in. And all your work finally paid off there and getting that rascal running on 432. You're 35 watts, doing pretty good up here. Okay, 73s for now, Ben, and we'll see you Sunday night. N6SWR for your final, K6MYC. Maybe I faded out.
Oh, you guys doubled.
Okay. 73, Ben, 73, thanks. We'll see you Sunday night, Ben, K6MYC.
Roger, Roger. I'll see you Sunday night, N6SWR.
73, Ben. Okay, anybody else in the San Joaquin Valley or within the sound of my voice, please check into the 432 Bozo Net, K6MYC. And we're missing Kerry, we're missing N6BYH and a couple of others. But I don't think Kerry has 432 KK6ZKE. Anybody else before we got some Course Gold people. Course Gold's missing here. WB6JNP or K6VBG. Anybody up there on 432 tonight? Go ahead. Well, there's no excuse for that. It should be cold in the shack tonight. Okay, Frank, good to hear you. We haven't seen Jen yet. W6BBS. Where'd everybody go?
You're still making it, Mike. KM6SRR.
Okay, I don't know where everybody went here. Okay, well, I guess if there's nobody else checking in, then we'll slide around and go to Santa Cruz. Here we go.
Kilo Mike 6, Hotel Kilo.
KM6HK. Good evening, Dan. My golly, I must have stirred you up a little bit yesterday. I mentioned to Dane that we hadn't seen you for a couple of weeks. KM6HK803. Good evening.
Oh, good evening. Yeah, no, I've been around. Just one thing and another. How you doing?
We're doing pretty good, and it was an interesting, cool day today. I wasn't outside very much, but it sure was a good working day. Maybe tomorrow. I'll be outside quite a bit tomorrow. We had high winds today, though, and that seemed to be something that we knew was coming because the Bay Area had high winds yesterday, and we're usually a day behind, and it was right on schedule. So hopefully it'll back off a little bit tomorrow. I had a beach umbrella here that I was using for shade, and it got tipped over the wrong way, and I was on a flatbed trailer I had here, and it blew the damn thing inside out. You know how umbrellas blow inside out. Well, this is a beach umbrella that blew inside out. I'm not sure I'll ever get it back. Over.
Yeah, those things can be dangerous when they come back down. Okay, very good. Yeah, we didn't have any wind here. All right, well, I'll let you go and catch the rest of you.
Okay. 7-3. Dan, anybody else? I'm going towards Santa Cruz. Here we go. Is anybody else hearing CW?
I think that's just a birdie, Mike.
Yeah, that's a birdie on 200. On 100 here, I forgot about it.
Yeah, I can see it on your scope. I also have a birdie too, but at a different frequency. So wherever it's coming from, K6USY.
It over toward Santa Cruz here, looking for, and hopefully he probably isn't there because of the wind, AF6 United or KAW6S. Tom, are you here tonight?
K6MYC, KW6S, 610.
Now there you are. Okay. Good signal. I must be close with the beam hitting. Signals sound pretty good tonight. And good evening to you. Did the wind calm down a little bit over there for you today?
You know, I was
gone all day over in San Jose, and I never saw any wind. And before I left, about 9 o'clock and got back about 4 o'clock, and except for I was gone, I didn't see any wind at all.
Okay. Maybe it'll calm down for us today. It blew pretty hard here. Luckily, I didn't have to work out in it. All right. Well, let's see if it wasn't too bad today. Maybe Lee was able to keep the antennas in the air. AF6 United, AF6U, K6MYC. No, looks like he took it down. Took it all down.
Yeah, it could be. I don't know exactly what he's got there, but he seems like he's using a telescoping pole that's maybe up about as far as he would like to put it without any guy wires.
Yeah, he should probably go to a metal pole with that thing. It would probably make it much sturdier, and then he would just have to put a little bit of guy wire on it. He's got the right height, whatever it is. I think he said it was 26 or 27 feet. He was afraid to go any higher, and he was afraid to leave it up. It's so flimsy. Yeah, it's a fiberglass pole, he said, but I don't know. It must be very thin. All right. Well, good to hear you, Tom. Glad you had hopefully you had a good day in San Jose today. We were inside most of the day fighting with the computer again and the program that we're trying to get sorted out, but we're making headway.
That is kind of the width of the house and not a real good way to run any guy wires out.
I think I double with the first part of that. You said width of the house and not a way to run guy wires out. Has he got a small yard? Is that what you're getting at?
He's on a very narrow, steep ridge, and from what I understand, and just no width to work with guy wires.
Well, then he has to start thinking about some Roan 25 or something, a little self-supporting tower that goes to 45 feet or 54 feet or something like that. I guess that's the next thing in the... He's got a tower he's working on, isn't that? Doesn't he have a tower?
Yeah, I think he's got a couple of them. One of them, I think, is going to be self-supporting roof bracketed, and the other, I think, is a crank over, no guy wires sort of thing, and he's got to throw in a big chunk of concrete for that one.
Yeah, okay. I'm sure all that'll, he's got the stuff, he just has to have time and some rat hole money to get that done. That sounds good. Okay. Well, the one station that's been missing now for about a month and a half, he was very active at first, and I thought he was going to be very, very much in here, was Kevin over there in Gilroy. I think it was W6 KFN or something like that. I've forgotten his call now. But I haven't heard him for a month. I wonder what happened, because he was really in there every night, and he even had a signal on 432. I mean, on 1296. I think he has a 9700. So he's not getting his money's worth if he hasn't been on the air here. I wonder if you have run across him anywhere there, Tom, and then we'll let you go, and we'll go into the Bay Area. KW6 Sugar in the group, K6MYC.
There's AF6 United.
Tom, your description was absolutely accurate. AF6 United, X6, KW6.
I got you, AF6 United. You're Q5, and I peeked on you, so you're not coming in the normal direction. You're back where you are when the antennas are low. I'm getting you at about 260 something, so I have to aim toward Monterey, and that's when you come in. So you're getting a side bounce off of a hill or something there, Lee. 1098, a good signal. You take it again and then shoot it to Tom. Over.
Okay, well, I am absolutely surprised, because I think the antenna right now
on, and if I do, I will rattle his cage and try to get him back here on the net. Otherwise, I will catch you Sunday night, I think. Yeah, I'll be home by Sunday night. I'm going to Pacificon, and then we have a little stop on the way in Livermore on the way home, and then, but I should be home plenty of time. AF6 United, K6MYC, KW6S.
Okay. Solid copy on both of you. Lee was starting to drop a little bit at the end there at some QSB, of course, but just about got everything, Lee. And, yeah. Well, that's all right. You'll get it up a little higher consistently. Once you get one of your towers up there, then you can get to the height you want to be, and it'll make a huge difference. You know that you can get over here with good signals. And I think we got good conditions tonight. That's probably why I'm hearing you. There may be nights when I cannot hear you with exactly the same setup, and that has happened too. But tonight and the last few nights, it's been pretty good conditions here on all the bands. 73 Lee, 73 said Tom, and we'll see you both perhaps on Sunday night there. AF6 United and KW6S, K6MYC going to the Bay Area. Good evening. Okay, Bay Area, Bozo Net, K6MYC. Where's KD6SOK tonight?
Hey, good evening, Mike. I'm here in the full moon, and good evening, Mike.
Yeah, almost a full moon. I think it'll be full tomorrow, but very, very close next couple of days for sure. Anyway, good to hear you. Good, strong signal, Fred. And I heard another voice in there, probably W6PQL. So hopefully you had a good day, and the wind died down over there apparently, and it came up strong over here. So we had pretty high winds. I would say 25, 30 on the maximum side. And it blew one of my beach umbrellas inside out, the one I was using to shield me, which I don't need much anymore. It was when the temperatures were running around 100 last week. I had it out there when I was working on my orchard trailer. Putting a new top on it, wooden top bed. But I don't need the umbrella anymore. So even if it was pretty well shot anyway. It was had some holes in it, and the fabric was rotting from the sun and so on. So I could probably retire that baby if I can't get it to turn back around the other direction. Back over to you there, K6MYC. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, very good, Mike. Yeah, it was really windy here today as well, so you probably even got more wind. I know that in the South County, like in Gilroy and Morgan Hill, when it's windy up here, it's like a hurricane force down there because it's like a slot where all the air goes through there. What was the wind speed down there today?
I don't know. I have an indicator, but I haven't mounted it yet. I guess I better get it out there.
Well, that's good. Yeah, at least it didn't affect your antennas tonight. The signals are a little bit bouncy tonight because there's still wind going on, but it should die down in a few hours and be quiet.
Okay. Well, you're sounding good. Hang in there. And maybe, well, I guess Sunday night's not a good band for you. You got problems there on 2 meters. Maybe as the temperatures go down, it might get better, so don't give up on 2 altogether.
Okay, Mike. Sounds good. Well, I'll say 73 and 507, and I'll let you go. 86, that's okay. Thanks.
Yeah, thanks for your Bozo number there, Fred. Appreciate it. Okay, was that you, Jim, W6PQL?
Yeah, it was. I kind of looked at the weather forecast here for Fremont. It was particularly interesting as far as wind goes. I know that there's a red flag warning in the Bay Area for the interiors, but I didn't see anything over 12 miles an hour. That was only on one day. The rest of it's pretty mild. So maybe it's just coming through the Golden Gate and shooting up onto Sacramento and Stockton and stuff. I don't know, but I'm not seeing anything there. I've read other articles, one from PG&E that says, We got a storm warning here. It's a windstorm, but just not seeing anything in the forecast. We'll find out tomorrow. It wasn't very windy today over here. I would say no more than 5 or 10 miles an hour. So I'm not sure what all the hubbub's about. K6NYC, W6PQL.
Yeah, I hear you. I don't know. It wouldn't have raised any eyebrows, the wind we had here. It's not untypical to get that kind of wind. Maybe 5 miles an hour faster than my normal higher winds in the afternoon here, but just ornery enough to turn my umbrella inside out. Hi, my beach umbrella. Okay, you're much weaker tonight than you were the other night on. 2 meters was glorious last night. You know, and I had a path that wouldn't quit on 1296, I think, wasn't too bad either, but this band is a little choppy. Fred's very stable, so it must be just the partial knife edge and all the stuff that you've got going there. Anyway, did you ever work QW? What is this called? What's this called down there? I lost it. Steve, over.
No, I didn't work him on either night. I thought I saw him in there on Monday night on 222, but nothing in there on Tuesday night for 1296. Yeah, you're up and down. You were S9 there for most of that transmission, then you went back down to a 4 or 5, so you're probably seeing the same thing on me. Just our typical conditions. The 432 antenna here isn't very high, and that doesn't help. 2 meters is higher. 222 is even higher than that. 1296 is on the top. So, you know, I'm putting the effort where most of the effort deserves, where most of the effort belongs, I think. That's the scoop. Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, well, most of the effort is needed on 1296 because, you know, there's more path loss and all the rest of it, more absorption, more stuff in the way that eats you. You know, 1296 is where you have to put your effort, top band, top effort. All right, very good, Jim. Thanks for being there, and hang in there a minute because you may hear something I'm not hearing. Anybody else in the Bay Area? We're looking for Ed, WA6AXX. We're looking for K6KLY. Looking for KB6 Whiskey Foxtrot Charlie. KB6BA. Anybody else? K6MYC Bozo Net. How about Jim? WB6JNN. How about AB6SR?
India Sugar.
Okay, I hear Whiskey India Sugar. Hang on a second, Paul. Let's see. AB6SR, Stan, are you there? Boy, there must be something on TV today. KB6 Whiskey Foxtrot Charlie, are you there, Mike? Okay, well, let me do this. Let me get it over to you, Paul. Good evening. And you can tell me right off the bat if you have any relays or not, and so on. K6 Whiskey India Sugar, K6MYC in the Bozo Net, over.
Yeah, K6MYC in the group. This is you're coming in maybe about 4x1 to 5x2, so not so good conditions tonight, but I'm glad that you could hear me okay, but probably not Q5. And no relays, negative relays, so back to you, Mike. This is K6WIS, over.
Yeah, K6WIS, solid copy. No problem. I peeked up on you a little bit. This should be a little bit better. There's 800 watts for you. KW6 Sugar, K6MYC, and no relays. So just you, the lonesome wolf there. I wonder what's happened to Dennis. Dennis has gotten very quiet. He's got a big station now on 432, and he missed 2 meters as well yesterday. So I don't know where he is. So I did get the guys in Clear Lake yesterday. I heard N1 PPP, and I wrote down both of them. But I did hear Dave, and I'm sure that Kent was in there as well. But I didn't hear Dennis at all, which was rare. Anyway, Anyway, thanks much, and I'm going to be coming up your way shortly. I'm done. I haven't got any more check-ins that I could hear in the Bay Area. We'll call one more time, and then we'll start moving up toward Oakley and then into Sacramento where you are, and more or less in your direction, Paul. So I don't know if you're watching the stream or not, but it'll be another 5 minutes, and we'll be up toward you on the direct path. I'm aimed right now at about 285, it looks like. 285 or something, so right in the middle of the Bay Area. That seemed to be a very definite and defined peak there tonight. Always in a different spot, it seems. K6 Whiskey India Sugar, K6 MYC.
Yeah, K6 MYC, K6 WIS Attorney. Yeah, I'm pointed actually 200 degrees just south of the Bay Area, probably Mount Damanon or thereabouts. And a pretty consistent signal, 5.2 to 5.3 on that last over. So I'll wait around for the direct path. I'll switch over to southeast and listen to you on the direct path in a few minutes' time. So thanks, Mike. Back to you, over.
Roger, roger. Flying down to Paul, and solid copy. Very good, and let me see if I can drag anybody else out of the Bay Area. Bay Area Bozo Net, come on, guys! You've been clobbered by the coarse gold people tonight, which is not right. It just isn't right. Bay Area Bozo Net, 432 K6 MYC.
Whiskey Bravo 6, Whiskey November India 1090.
1090. Hi, Gary. 1090. Well, golly, good to have you in here. We've been missing you. There was 3 or 4 nets that we didn't have you logged in, which was quite surprising, but you're sounding pretty good on 432 here. Usually you're much stronger on 2 meters, so can't complain. What you been up to, and I haven't heard Mike now, so Mike's gone again, or he's forgotten to get on the net or something. But good copy from you. WB6WNI, K6MYC, over.
Well, thank you, Mike. Yes, we were in Oregon, Oregon, visiting my sister, so that's why we were not on. And it was nice, very nice weather up there. I just want to comment, the reason I like 432, it's hard to believe my daughter and I were in the other room, and I said, gee, Mike is coming in like 40 over 9, but it's a big S3. But that's something about this band. I mean, you have it punches through like there's no tomorrow. That's what I kind of like it. So, but yes, you are really well. S3 sounding like 40 over 9. And yeah, Oregon was great weather. Very little wind down here to comment with other people. Not really, I didn't think it was windy at all. And Mike, I only have one question since you have Frank liking beacons. I heard a beacon on 2 meters, 144, 292, and I believe it was W6MCF. I didn't look them up. I just was wondering if you're familiar with that 2-meter beacon.
Yeah, 292. I'm just trying to think. That's yeah, I think that's K6ERF, isn't it?
Well, it was in CW, but I know CW. I copied W6MTF, so Mike Tango Frank. I didn't look them up. It was
292 is November 6th, pop-up Mike, Italy.
Bother looking, but yeah, if you listen, if anybody here in the Bay Area should be able to hear it at 144, 292, coming in fairly strongly, so.
He's talking about a beacon frequency 144, 292.
In Sacramento, so I'll say time between now and then try to get on Sunday. K6MYC, WB6WNI.
Okay, well, we'll see you Sunday night. Now, you were talking about the frequency of 144, 292, right?
That is correct. That is the frequency.
Well, they may have changed the call sign, but that used to be... I don't think it was Mike Tango Sugar. I know that. I know CWL. I can almost remember the call sign, but I don't think, I know it wasn't MTS in the old days. It might have been K6 Echo Romeo Fox. Dit-da-da-dit, dit-da-dit. And that's K6 ERF or something. And it's in Sausalito. So that would be one that you would hear. Did you happen to know what direction it was coming from, Gary, over?
Actually, I do not, and because I had the beam. The beam is the 8-element. Oh God, who was it who made that beam? It's the one with the gain tracker. So that beam is pointing towards you, and it was still coming in with an S5, S8 somewhere in there. But I'll repeat, I copied Whiskey 6 Mike Tango Fox, Mike Tango Fox. But you know what? It could be a change in call signs. Who knows? I'll do more investigation and report back on Sunday.
Okay, Mike Tango Fox would be da-da-da-dit-da-dit. And that just does not ring a bell, but it might be a different one. They may have changed the call sign, so that's not unrealistic. But it used to be, that one used to be, I think, in Sausalito. There's one that used to be on 281. That was KJ6KO, but it's gone. It's not on, but you should have been able to hear. You should be able to hear Frank speaking easily on 144.275. Over.
Oh, I will definitely give it a listen. Right now I have your 440B, the 18-element. You'll know better than I am. 18-element 440. So I have to switch antennas, and I'll listen on 275.
Well, 275 on this band also, so up 275 on this band, 274 something. And that's where you'll hear the pitch. I think it's dead zero beat on 275 on both bands. So you should hear it on both 432 and 2 meters. And you should hear it quite easily because it's omni, but it's beamed in your direction with reasonable power. Over.
Okay, I understand. That's right. He has a 432. All right. Well, I'll let you move along, and if you check back in the Bay Area, I will tune there now and then report if I heard anything. So 432, say 275, give or take a few years. I think that might be maybe 679. It's 73 for now, Mike.
Okay, very good, Gary. And all the BBS beacons, W6 Bravo, Bravo Sierra, all those beacons are on 275. 144, 275, 432, 275, and 1296, 275. So you don't have to remember but one number there. All right, 73, Gary. Anybody else in the Bay Area, please, Kilowatt 6 Mike Yankee Charlie, check-ins for Bozo. Wow, very quiet tonight. No W6, WB6, JNN. No WAXX said he would not be here tonight, so that's a given. K6KLY talked to me on the phone. Maybe he's just getting ready to go to bed so he can stay up all night over the weekend and do moon bounce from here. KB6BA must be just too tired from a hike or something he did today. AB6SR, maybe he's fell asleep in front of the Merlot bottle. See, I can't embarrass anybody. Okay, I give up, guys, but I'll come back, Gary, and see if you tell me what you hear. 7-3 for now. I'm going to Oakley. Here's Oakley. N6 Radio Oscar. Radio Oakley, K6MYC. N6RO, K6MYC. He may have fallen asleep too. N6 Radio Oscar, N6RO, K6MYC. He might be in the middle of a Zoom meeting or something there. Let me see if I can hear Clear Lake here. Clear Lake. Let me go up a little further. That should be pretty close to Clear Lake. N1 PPP, N1 Papa. N1 PPP, K6MYC, calling and listening.
Yeah, 7-Eleven's in there.
Okay, I don't hear John at all. Make noise, John.
That's okay. That's 711 K6MI. I was down on 10 meters tall sites, and I talked to Aaron just before the net started, so you may already have me down. K6 Mike Italy.
Okay, got you. I got you. Very good, John. Good evening. And thanks for coming up here from 10 meters. K6 Mexico, Italy, K6 MYC, and I'm not getting anything out of N6RO, so we'll probably have to come back for Ken also. Not getting anything out of Clear Lake. One more call to Clear Lake, N1 Papa, and anybody up that way, K6 MYC. Okay, let me go up to sort of South Sacramento. KJ6 Kilo Foxtrot Bravo, KJ6 KFB. Darren, are you in there? Nothing from Darren yet, but Darren's probably in the background listening. Let me go a little further and I'll get KJ6, KD6B, KO6KD. I'll get it right yet, Bill. KO6KD, K6MYC.
Yep, I'm here, Mike. Sign Darren in and sign me in KO6KD number 776. Over.
Okay, gotcha, Bill. Good signal. Not real strong, but very steady. KO6KD 776, and we also have Darren now checked in 756, and we'll look for John in just a second. Very good. We didn't hear you this morning. We had quite a chat this morning until a little bit after 9 o'clock. So we went on and on, round and round with the Kamala stuff and other things as well, but mostly it was related to Kamala's kind of weird performance with Brett Baer. That was, I don't know if you saw that or not, but she interviewed him. She was supposed to be there for the better part of an hour. She was 17 minutes late, and then they quit early. So I think a total of 20 minutes maximum, but it might have been closer to 15. 6 questions were attempted to be asked with many repeats because, she doesn't answer the question. So Brett Baer stayed after like a bulldog, but only got 6 questions asked, which was a shame because he had something like 1,000 people that had sent questions in from the audience, maybe more by the time it actually came about. And they probably had, I heard at least 100 questions, all of which were relatively valuable and valid. But he only got time for 6, so that's probably the last we'll hear of her in that respect. KO6KD in the group, K6MYC.
Yeah, I was not there this morning. Sorry, Mike. It's just another one of those nights. I wish I could get to sleep earlier and get plenty of rest so I could join you guys. I miss the morning QSOs. I'll try again tomorrow. I did not see the interview. I only saw a small portion of it, and I heard the people on CNN. They thought it was Kamala's finest hour. They thought she was absolutely outstanding during the process there with Brett Baer. So that gives you an idea what their thinking is. Okay, anyway, I'll say 7-3, and hopefully I'll see you in the morning. K6MYC from KO6KD.
Well, if you call dancing around the question and repeating the question and then taking off in other directions, and then she mentioned Trump about 270, over 200 times she blamed or mentioned the word Trump. So how that could be her finest hour is beyond me, because she blamed Trump for stuff that they had 10 years of the last 8 of the last 10 years in control of the Democrats, and everything else was Trump's fault, which was kind of interesting. Anyway.
Kilo 6, Victor Bravo Go.
It's bizarre. And that's just
Gotcha, Dave.
liberals think about.
Roger.
She can do no wrong, so that's just the way it is.
Well, CNN is so far off base. Everything is that way. We watch, Judy likes to bounce back and forth between CNN and see. Now she's aware of what's really going on, and she said, my God, have I been lied to for so many years, because she loved CNN and all the programming there and believed it. And now she's switched over for somebody that's 83 years old to come out of their fog and switch over is quite amazing. Even my son Matt was amazed that she could do it, but she's now fully awakened to all the BS on CNN and the rest of them. Over.
Well, I have to take my hat off and give her a big salute for that. Outstanding. I wish more people could do that. Where Kamala is getting most of her support is the under 30 age group. Those people, they don't think. They only look at whatever it is they look at. And if it looks good, they'll vote for it. They'll like it. If it's old and they don't like it, they're just young people are going to stick with what they think is right. They're wrong, and there's nothing we can do about it other than there's nothing we can do about it. I'm sorry, I'm not making any sense, but I have heard that's where she gets most of her support is from the under 30 age group. Over.
Well, women in that bracket, maybe not men. She's having a horrible time with men. And it's being diminished every day as more and more people figure out what's going on. But to see what you saw on CNN with them thinking that it was Kamala's finest hour was the furthest imaginable from what really went on. 6 questions in 20 minutes, unbelievable, because he just stayed after her to get answers that never were forthcoming. She said, if you want to know what my policies are, go to my website. What kind of an answer is that?
Hey, Mike, N6RO is in there.
N6RO is off to a Zoom meeting. Sorry.
Here, we got you. Thank you, Ken.
That's the question. So, okay. Well, anyway, hopefully I'll see you guys tomorrow and we can convince about it a little more then.
Roger. Anyway, 7-3, and we'll see if we can get John in here. John, let me move the antenna up just a little bit. We'll probably try to get you right about here somewhere. KR6MR, and we do have, we did pick up N6RO. We've got N6RO logged in, but he's off to a Zoom meeting. KR6MR, K6MYC.
Good evening, Mike of the group, K6MYC. This is KR6.
Yeah, very slim, very light copy with a lot of flutter, but we got you. I think I'm peaked on you as best I can, John. It's not good tonight. It's because of the wind, probably between us, the direction the wind is flowing and blowing. It's okay east-west, but it's terrible north-south, so that's where we're at. KR6MR 759, K6MYC, over.
Roger, my copy. Wind conditions are probably affecting our signal. I'll let it go, and I'll see you Sunday night. K6MYC, KR6MR 73.
Yeah, I hear you come up out of the big null. Just coming up strong now. All right, John, thank you. Thank you much, and we'll see you on Sunday night, John. KR6MR, K6MYC 73. Anybody else before we go to Nevada? K6MYC.
Kilo 6, Whiskey India 7.
Yeah, about the same, Paul. K6WIS, about the same as the other path, but you've got flutter and moldy path on this path. Let me see if I can peek on you. Go ahead.
Yeah, K6MYC in the group. This is K6WIS
same with your signal, Mike. Anywhere 4x1 to 4x4. There's a warble and a flutter and QSB. So the bounce path was definitely better than this one, even though there's higher signal strength sometimes. Anyway, I hope you get your antenna dialed a little bit better on me, and I'll pass it back to you. This is K6WIS in Placerville area.
Yeah, Roger, Paul. Well, it's Q5 copy all the time, but you're up and down, and of course the multipath in there. K6 Whiskey India Sugar 637, K6 MYC. Very good. And solid copy. About the same signal strength, but as you said, more steady on the bounce path. I think you're every bit as strong on this path as the bounce path on the peaks, but the peak was there most of the time on the bounce path. Hi. Thank you, Paul. Thanks for the double check here. I'll take one more standby before we go to Nevada. K6 Whiskey India Sugar in the group, K6 MYC. Anybody else in the Sacramento area? Over. I hear you, K6 KFB. I hear you, WKA. No, that isn't right. KJ6 KFB. Let me come back your way, Darren. Go ahead, Darren.
Oh, there, you're starting to come up a little bit. Come back up to life. Yeah, I didn't know if you could hear me over all the rest of the stage. Thought I formally did my Kilo Juliet 6 Kilo Foxtrot Bravo 756.
We got you, and of course, Bill had already checked you in and said you had to go earlier, but it's good to hear you in here with your 8. I think at 8 watts, or is it 20 watts? Darren, over.
20 on this band, 6 on 220.
Oh, holy cow, 20 watts. Okay, well, you're doing good, and it's Q5 except for the very deep fades. Over. Roger, Darren, thank you, and you too. Have a good night. Have a good weekend. We'll see you Sunday. We'll see you Sunday night there. KJ6 KFB, K6 MYC. Anybody else in the Sacramento area? Over. Nothing heard. I'm going up to Nevada. Here we go. There's Nevada. Nevada, KD6BQ. KD6BQ with your 8 watts, K6 MYC. Anything, Richard? QSL, got your 249. Got your 249 and CW there. Not good enough for sideband, so I'm glad you have the CW capability, Richard. Thank you. And stand by, maybe you can jump in if it begins to peak up for you there. Let me see if Larry's there. N7 Whiskey Tango, N7WT, K6MYC. And I don't think Daniel's ready, but I'll give it a try. Daniel, how about it? KE7UQL, Kilo Echo 7, Uniform Quebec London, KE7UQL. K6MYC, calling a list. And not hearing anything from Daniel. I apparently think they must have had some weather. Yeah, I know you guys had rain up there, and he can't do anything when it's raining, so he probably did not get the 432 antennas up. We'll check a couple of more times, but I think that's it. Let me see, N7WT, N7 Whiskey Tango, or KE7UQL. KE7UQL or N7 Whiskey Tango. If you're in there, go ahead. Kilowatt 6 Mike Yankee Charlie, Bozo Net, over. Okay, I'm not hearing anything, so to you, Richard, 73, thanks much, and we'll see you on Sunday night. Have a good weekend, Have a good weekend, Richard. KD6BQ, K6MYC, 73. Roger, got your 73s, and everything there. Thank you very much, Richard. Take care. And I'll go back to the Bay Area for one more light checks and mist and see if Gary has any news on their beacons, Frank.
Did you say beacons for Frank?
Yeah, well, he said he heard a beacon on 292. And he gave the frequency as he thought it was W6 Mike Tango Fox. But I don't know of a beacon unless they changed the call sign. I thought that beacon up on 292 was K6ERF, but I could be wrong. It was never Mike Tango Fox, so either way, whatever it isn't the same one. But I said, well, you should be listening for Frank's beacon on this frequency, 275 on this band, and 275 on 2 meters, and he was going to do that, and I'm going to go back to the Bay Area, and he's going to report back to me what he heard. So that's where we're headed now. Over.
Yeah, okay. Well, just FYI, Mike, right before the net, I went in to shut the beacons down, and apparently I forgot to turn them on last night, so they've been off the last 24 hours.
Oh, okay. Are they on now?
No, but I could turn them on. I could turn 2 meters on. If I turn 432 on, it's going to take everything out for me.
Well, I know it'll wipe you out here, yes.
Yeah, but if that's what he's listening for, I'll go turn both of them on right now.
Okay. Well, he may not be listening now. He probably listened earlier and was telling me he heard nothing, but he heard nothing today, so that explains why he didn't hear your beacons. He was in Oregon. He's been in Oregon, so he wasn't able to listen the last 4 or 5 days. Anyway, let me go back to the Bay Area, and we'll talk to him one more time, and maybe he can take one more careful check there. Okay, heading back to the Bay Area. Passing by Oakley and 835 if you're there now, Ken. Say it again, Frank. Maybe it wasn't anybody. I had some static on my headphone here. All right, let's see. I'm in the Bay Area and looking for you, Gary. WB6WNI, K6MYC. Are you back here?
Hey, Mike. Yes, I am. K6MYC, WB6WNI. How copy?
I copy you fine, but I got bad news. I'm going to send you back over to those frequencies. Frank just went out. He had them turned off. I can't remember why, but he had the beacons turned off for the last 24 hours. Something probably needed to be recharged or something. I don't know why he had them turned off. He's on frequency, but if you could go back on this band, if you can tune up there quickly, we'll wait for you here, and I'll chat with Frank, okay?
Oh, QSL. Oh, it's easy. It'll take you a few seconds. And yes, I was going to report I didn't hear anything, but I'm going to go back and check, and I'll be back in a minute. K6MYC, WB679.
Okay.
I'm back, and the beacons are both running 2 meters and 432.
Okay, and I just told him that. He's going down 432 right now. I told him we'd chat with you for a couple of minutes. Can you hold a second? I got to ask Judy a question here.
Well, only if I get to say hi to Judy, then I guess I'll let you.
Well, I got you on Bluetooth, so she can't hear you right. I can unplug you, though, just a minute.
No, you don't have to unplug me. Just tell her I said hi and carry on. Do your thing. I'll be standing by.
Okay, now you're on speaker. Okay, hang on a second. Okay, Jen has come and gone about a half an hour ago, so she should be driving in any moment, Frank.
Oh, okay. Well, as it happens, she's been home for about 15, 20 minutes. That's why I was gone for a little while there. And envelope is in my hand.
Okay. Very good. That worked out. I'm sorry that she had to come down for that. She almost could have just swung by here and stayed here. I don't know when she got through here, but Matt was here at 6:30, which was very rare. One of his early days, actually a few minutes before 6:30, which stunned me. That was the earliest day he's been here in about 2 weeks. Go figure. And he told me he was going to be late. So, again, like I say, you never know. He doesn't know either from 1 minute to the next. When I called him today, and the reason he took so long to respond about the check was because he was at the tire shop, and he was waiting for the last tire to be mounted on his truck so he could come back. So that's why it was longer than just the drive to get the tires and so on. So that's why it took a little longer. Anyway, it all worked out, so I'm happy, and hopefully it'll get you started, and we'll look for another one early next week.
Yeah, okay, very good, very good. We'll discuss all that tomorrow, and in the meantime, let's see if your friend is back and if he's able to hear the beacon.
Okay, Gary, if you had a chance to tune up on this band, what did you see?
Well, yes, 36NYC, W679 with W6PBS. Yes, I heard the beacon. It is not very strong, but thanks to CW, I could definitely verify it with the beacon. I would say it was about an S1 and just slightly above the noise, but I could copy it back to you.
Yeah, okay, very good. It was just above the noise, Frank. Are you hearing Gary?
You know, I hear him talking, and once in a while I pull out a word, but he's just right at the noise floor.
Yeah, well, I got more antennas and the preamp up there and everything. Okay, Gary, would you do me a favor and go down to 2 meters and go up to 275, Gary, over?
Okay, so that would be 144.275, so 144?
144.275 is correct.
Okay, QSL, give me a few extra seconds here because I am have to switch to dance. Alrighty, I'll be right back.
Did you hear Dane?
No, I did not hear Dane, but let me get Dane in here. Where are you, Dane?
Hey, Dane, JMP, go ahead.
Okay, yeah, I see the beacon.
Yeah, okay, Mike is listening for you right now, so give him a call.
I hear him, but you're very weak, Dane, you probably, because I'm pointed to the Bay Area. Sometimes I have a null on you. Don't worry about it. We got you checked in, but 107 for Dane, 107. I'm giving it to Judy. And this is what band did I put there? Was that 1296?
I put 432.
Oh, this is 432. Is this today's? Today's?
That is.
The last one was. Yeah, okay. Okay, Dane, make a transmission, and let's see if I can copy over.
Yeah, on the 991 on the Spectrum, I can see.
Yeah, okay, it's pretty strong here on here, and that's why I was asking why you're a little further away. That's why it's usually shut off during the net. We just turned it back on because there's a station trying to listen to both beacons and come back and report to Mikey. So that's what we're up to. Good evening, sir.
Okay, did you get the Comet and Rainbow pictures?
I did, and I had them on my phone, and we sat at the kitchen table at Mike's this morning and looked at them, but then we got distracted modeling an antenna, and I never copied them onto his computer yet, but I have them. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, interesting for all the time that I've played this music and stuff like that. I really am not into moving stuff around, so I had to have my wife explain to me once again how to do it. And, you know, I like film.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm assuming you took these pictures with your phone, right?
Yeah, they were shot with a Galaxy 22 Ultra.
Okay, I don't know that operating system. I know with an iPhone, you take a picture and then you can just tap on it, and a little menu will pop up, and you hit the little up arrow, and then it says, do you want to do AirDrop or mail or message? And I just hit message, and then it just says to who, and I put your name in it, and off it goes. So, anyways, okay. Good evening, sir. Back to net, Mikey. You got anything else?
Yeah, no, I copied that, and Dane, we could see the pictures of the comet. I forgot to go out and look tonight. We were watching a program. Well, we were watching the dinner, Alfred Smith dinner, and Trump was on, and he was cracking everybody up with his. It's one of those where you what do they call it? Satire. Well, it's satire, but they're and the Democrats bash the Republicans. Friendly. It's a friendly get together with friendly. I forgot what the word is. Roast. Yeah, roast. And Trump was just cracking me up with his roast stuff today. It was really good. And I forgot to go out and look at the sundown.
Yeah, I didn't see it this evening, and we had really good size here, so who knows?
Yeah, I'm going to go back to and get the report from Gary here. 73 Dane, thanks for checking in. Good to hear you. And we'll see you Sunday night. WB6ANP, K6MYC.
Okay, Sunday night we'll probably be up at Sequoia, so look for us south.
Okay, we'll look for the weaker signal. Hi.
Here it goes, WB6.
Okay, Gary, I'm back at you, and I wonder if you had a chance to see the 2-meter beacon there. Over.
Oh, very good, Mike. Yeah, I'm glad you're back. I'm not sure what to tell Frank. There is a carrier on that frequency, and it is not particularly strong. But when I tuned to 275, there was a steady CW signal. Just steady, steady signal, no code. So I couldn't tell there was too powerful a steady tone. So unfortunately, I couldn't really run a valid test on that frequency.
Sounds like you have a birdie on that frequency. Frank, can you check the beacon? Or he said all he heard was a steady tone.
All right, I'll be back in a second. I'm just going to switch right here, right now. I'll be right back.
You'll be right back, double checking what you should have heard. It's usually pretty fast CW. It's about 13 words a minute.
It is on 432. It was perfectly readable.
Yeah, okay. Well, you should hear the same on 2. I don't know why you can't hear it on 2. You do have a better antenna on 432, however, over.
Comment.
Oh, that is true. That's something I could think about. I could disconnect the antenna and see if the signal's still there. Then that would definitely be a birdie.
Hang on, Frank's back. What'd you hear, Frank?
Now, 2 meters sounds just fine, so does 432. But part of the problem, I heard you say he's got a better antenna on 4032. And remember, the 2-meter beacon is running on that 10-watt radio right now. So it's only 10 watts versus 25 out of the 432.
Well, he's got a 44018 on 432, and on 2 meters, he's got an 8-element something or other. I think it's an old high gain or something, over.
Yeah, roger that. It is what it is for the moment until I get better or change or something on the equipment. I've been considering swapping the radios back now that I know the problem is not the radio with the 1296. So maybe over the next day or so, maybe tomorrow I'm here, I'll get 25 watts going back out on 2 meters.
Okay. So So maybe tomorrow he'll have 25 watts. It's currently just 10 watts into an omnidirectional on 2 meters, Gary. So you might check it tomorrow later in the day. It should be 25 watts into the Omni. And maybe that beacon or that beat frequency you've got, the solid tone will have gone away. Must be something in your shack, maybe a computer or something, because beacon is plunking away normal CW. But if it's a little stronger, maybe you can hear it beating with that note. You should be tuned to about 274.5, not 275 even, but 274. And if you have a notch on the radio, you can notch out the tone, and it's very, very likely that it's on a different frequency than the CW. So you might be, if you notch the tone out, the solid tone, then you could hear the beacon underneath. Over.
Well, that makes sense. I do have a notch. This is the 847. So, yes, I will be glad to do that. And, you know, the antenna just came to me. It's a Telonic. It's used for game tracking. And, Mike, while the conditions are good, I've been meaning to ask you this question, and I did ask somebody else, and they said, oh, who cares? That was literally their answer. Mike. Who cares? The question, Mike, very quickly is, the Telonic, the 2-meter beam, has 8 directors. The middle 4 directors are the exact same length. Was there any reason for doing that other than that? You've actually used the distance, or did that accomplish something I don't understand? To have the middle 4 the exact same length? Back to you.
Yeah, I missed most of that, Gary. Not your fault. I was going to back to your rough copy for me through the speaker. Your Q5 with difficulty, but Q5 through the Bluetooth into my hearing aids, and I just got them going back that way when you turned it back this way. So I have to ask you, please, if you could repeat what you just said and asked. Over.
Hey, stand by. Hang
on a second.
Once I'll put the beacon up 5 right now for a quick test to see if he hears it off his birdie frequency.
Okay. What we're going to do for a short term for you, Gary, is he's going to move the beacon up 5 kilohertz, so it'll be at 280 or 289.5. But finish your question while Frank's doing that, and then you can go back to 2 meters and listen to 280 or 279.5. Over.
Okay, very good. KM6SRR.
The Telonic, that's the beam, the 2-meter beam is the Telonic 8 element. 4 directors, but the question is, the middle 4 directors are at the exact same length. And my question was, there a reason other than ease of manufacture, which could be, but would there be any other reason to make the middle 4 directors the exact same length? That is, was there anything special about that?
I thought you said it was an 8 element, but you're saying now it's a 6 element with 4 directors?
No, I'm sorry. No, it is 8 elements. There are 6 directors, but the middle 4 are cut the same length. That was just wondering, any special reason for that?
Well, that's kind of typical. Just let me hold you a second. Go ahead, Rob.
Yeah, I'm dying here. Do you think there'll be any more check-ins so I can go over? I got 22.
Okay, very, very good, Rob. No, you can go. I think we're done with checking, and I don't expect anybody else. We got everybody. We got. He's got 22. What do you got? Judy's counting. He's got 23 counting me. Did you get 24 actually? Did you get to Aaron and his wife?
Roger.
Okay. Were you here?
Figure out.
Okay, hang on. Hang on a second. Gary, can you stand by a second, Gary? Or you want to go while I'm doing this, go up and listen to 285, 280? 279.5 is where you'll hear the pitch. Over.
QSL, I will QSY and put on the Telonic speed, and then we'll be back here in a couple minutes. K6NYC to 8679.
Roger, you go do that, and I'll get the net finished up with Rob, and then we'll be waiting for you to come back here. So, Rob, hang on a second. Let me look at some numbers. Judy had questions. She couldn't read my writing.
Yeah, she may have had Paul WIS in there twice because he checked in bounce pass and direct over.
No, I don't think so. She didn't check any numbers in because she couldn't hear anybody. I had everybody on Bluetooth except the last few minutes.
Hey, Mike, I recounted. I have 24. Sorry.
What, are you sick or something?
Yeah, that's what it seems like.
Hey, Frank, where were you today?
If I get out and about for an errand, an errand tomorrow, would you like me to drop you a bottle of Claritin off?
Yeah, if you're going by, don't go out of your way. I have some other flu stuff I could take also that I was planning on doing. I haven't had anything yet. Over.
Okay, well, you do whatever you think's right, but like several of us said, I had the same problems, sore throat and sinuses and all that, and the flu stuff would knock it down but wouldn't take it away, and ultimately the allergy, just taking the allergy pill, and immediately in the first 24 hours you get a little better. The second 24 hours when you take it again, boy, it kind of wipes it out and you're like raring to go. So anyways, if I can get by that way, I'll drop you out because I believe I've got the bottle I'm taking right now, which is open, and I'm pretty sure we got 1 or 2 extra bottles because that's the way the bike buys the stuff. And if I get out, I'll just dump one by your house. I'll do a knock and run. Don't stomp on the bag on your porch if it's on fire.
Okay, the gate's probably closed, so you can just leave it on top of the post on the gate and then give me a holler. Over.
Okay, well, I'll holler at you before. If I'm headed that way, I'll holler at you, and then you can tell me to leave it there, or you maybe open the or whatever you want at that time.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it very much. I just don't feel like going anywhere. Over.
Understand that.
Well, good evening, Frank.
Good evening, sir. And you know what? I got home so late and had so much going on. I was going to stop. I just kept telling myself, you should just stop and get it over with. And then while arguing with myself and watching drivers, I drove right by. And next thing I know, I was up here unloading the trailer.
Well, I figured you were late. So, no big deal. Yeah, I'm here. I'll be here tomorrow.
Okay, that's what I wanted to hear. Tomorrow is toilet guy, so I'm here. And so once I clear the toilet guy, I'll shoot down your way.
All right, sounds good. We have a guy over here. There'll be a van parked somewhere down here behind the house or finishing up my air conditioning. So, yeah, be careful when you come down the driveway.
Roger. You got things squared away there, Mikey?
Hey Frank, W6BBS. Mike first said 24, I think, and that's what I've come up to now. So if that's good, I'm just going to put it in and go. Over.
Yeah, roger that. I'll relay that. You go take off and get some rest, Rob. Take care of yourself. you did not forget we had a guy doing a beacon test there, Mikey, in case you were checking out. Whistling is Bluetooth, Aaron.
I don't think I can do that remotely.
Oh, you don't have the remote tickle button wired in there?
No, but that would be handy.
Hey, imagine a remote hidden whoopee cushion, and you wait till he's got guests in the shack.
See, I'll just take over. All I got to do is pop a couple holes in his router, and I can remote his radios from down. I can just run the net. The only thing I can't do from down here is spin the rotors.
Right.
I'm sure we can work that out.
Yeah, there's a solution for that.
Yes, all but one of them. I could make all of them easily remotable with the equipment that is there. And with software I already have. But except for one, it's that one rotor on his 1296 array at the barn is a different old rotor, and we wouldn't be able to do that one, but all that's beside the point.
Yeah, don't most of his controllers just have a serial port on the back, and you just got to run that into a computer?
Yeah, roger that. All the Orion controllers have the serial port on the back, and if you use PST Rotator, it's out of Europe. It's something that back when I was at M Squared, I actually worked with the author on it and helped him with the coding, getting the coding right and everything to run the Orion controller. And then when we added some other higher end controller stuff that they were using on satellite stuff and whatnot, and dishes, yeah, I helped on that a little bit. So yeah, and it works beautiful, and you can run multiple instances. So when I get going on EME, I can have both my elevation and azimuth on the screen at the same time and watch them track, and it'll track the moon automatically. Or there's a number of ways you can click on the dial or type in a number. You can completely run the rotor system 100% remote, and it's just a matter of programming the right COM port.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry.
Okay, why don't you first get that guy in the Bay Area that was checking the beacon, Mike?
Okay, Gary, WB6WNI, how are you doing?
Oh, doing fine. Doing fine. I heard it on 80. There is a birdie probably on 275. At 280, I could barely hear it. I actually hear it better on 432, but I did barely hear the CW. So yes, it's affirmative. I could copy the CW, but it was very much in the noise.
Okay, very good. He did hear it, Frank, so it's up there, but it was so weak he would have never heard it under the carrier he has on 275. That may be a fleeting thing, and I wouldn't worry about it. Put the beacon back on 275. And were you running 25 watts or 10, Frank?
Oh, no, it's only running 10. That's the max that particular radio does. So, I'll go put it back because they're all going to stay on 275. But you can just tell him that tomorrow I'll swap radios out because I've been wanting to do this anyways. I want to put the
stand by, Gary,
transverter back on the lithium batteries and off of the SLAs and just run it again and see if it starts to go glitchy or if it was a battery issue. I just want to do a little experimenting and see if we can't get a more definitive answer on that. So that'll be part of the process. So sometime tomorrow morning, that beacon will go back to 25 watts on 275. And it's going back on 275 when I get off the key. I'm going to go change it right now. W6BBS.
Okay, W6BBS cam 6SR SRR. Okay, 6MYC. Now we're counting our numbers. We'll have a final number for you in just a second, Rob. Sorry to keep you waiting there. And Gary, the beacon will be at 25 watts back on 275 tomorrow. So hopefully your number one, your carrier makes a tone is not there, or you can notch it. If you can notch it out, then you should hear the beacon. It's very much of a of an unlikely situation that they'd both be pitched on the same frequency. So you should be able to notch out the steady carrier and then hear the beacon. Tomorrow it'll be at 25 watts, probably after about noon or so.
Okay, Mike.
Hey, Mike, I recounted. I have 24. It matches your original count there, KM6SR.
Okay, we'll confirm that in just a second, Rob.
Get settled in for the evening. This has been a lot of fun.
I already sent it off, so I guess that's got to stand.
Okay, wait a minute, Gary. You asked the question. Okay, so you got 4 directors that are the same length, and then a short one out in front and a longer one right in front of the driven element. That's the way it should be. That's a classic old cookbook formula. It's not the right way, not the computer-optimized way, but it's not bad. That's typical. Over.
Okay, I was wondering if it was just, it may be from manufacturing costs. You don't have so many different parts.
I missed the question. I don't have what?
Oh, I would just say simply, you know, it reduces the number of parts, right? If 4 of them are the same, well, you only have to worry about one side. That's, you know, it probably is cost effective.
It's not a cost thing. That's the way they were done. And it's usually a fairly easy antenna to make that way, and it's fairly broad band. The front director sets the high end of the band, and the other one is longer right in front of the driven element because it's a match. It's a match from the impedance of the driven element to the other directors. So it's an element that gets tuned, and it usually ends up a little longer than the others. That's typical. So there you go. You got a classic antenna. 4, 2, 8. Okay, 4, 2, 6. Yeah, 8 elements. And the boom length was what? Can you make a guess at the boom length? I'm trying to guess who made that.
Okay, the boom length was 11 feet, about 10 inches, because I measured it a number of times trying to find it on the internet. So 11 feet, 10 inches, and it's made by Telonic. So Telonic, who makes gauge tracking equipment.
Telonic. Okay, I don't know who the hell that is. It may not even be working on 2 meters. You sure it's a 2 meter beam?
I am. Now, this is interesting. I'm glad you're able to copy because it's kind of confusing. Telonic normally makes higher frequencies, but I remember hearing that somebody said this was designed for the SSB portion of 2 meters. And for that reason, I may not want it. I may not want it because it's for SSB. But I took it anyway. And so it is designed to work between 144 to 145 peak performance. It's between 144 to 145. So it was a special. It was made special to order. So I like it, and it was free. And Mike, that's the best part, free.
Okay, that's fine. And no, you do want that because your operating single sideband is below 145. Most of the sideband stuff is where we are. 144-200 is the international and national calling frequency for 2 meter sideband. And we just move up here to get a little ways away from 200 here for 240. So that's why we're up on 240 for the net and stuff. Okay, so your antenna's fine. It's like you say, it was a special made specifically for 2 meters, and it's probably got a good match. Is it a gamma match or a T match or what?
We're on 432, not 2 meters.
I know.
You told him 240. We're on 100.
You call that hairpin match? It's a hairpin. That's all. A hairpin, but it also comes. No, it's just. You know what? I jumped in the air now, but it did have the hairpin, whatever they call that, where the wire hits both of the driven elements and then is attached to the mast.
It sounds like it's pretty much of a copy of a high gain. The boom length at a little over 10 feet, 11 feet is an 8-element high gain, if I'm not mistaken. So they probably just copied the 8-element high gain dimensions. So that's it. I don't know. What did I say? Hang on a second. What did I say, Frank? Because you may not have heard his question.
Well, no, you were talking about where the DX frequencies and the boundaries were, and you said that's why 144-200 is the calling frequency, DX calling. That's why we're up here on 240, and we're not on 240. We're on 100. So I just no big deal.
I meant when we're on 2 meters, we go up to 240 is what I meant. I might have said it a little bit sloppy. You know what I meant, I think. Okay, yeah, 144-200 is a 2-meter calling frequency, and we call on that on 144-240. But we are on 432-100 this evening. This is where we call on that, obviously, Gary. Okay, I think you're good to go. The antenna sounds fine. It's probably performing within a half a dB of optimum for the boom length, so you're fine. Over.
Okay, Mike, I really appreciate it. Again, it's been lots of fun. I like playing with antennas, as do you. Anyway, 73 to you and Frank, and I am hearing Frank slightly. Yeah, I don't think I can carry on the QSO, but I do hear Frank in case he's wondering. Anyway, A6MYC with W6, W6BBS in the background. Here is W6W9, 73.
Okay, 73, Gary, and yeah, Frank's running the same power, but a smaller antenna. He's hearing you, but difficult copy. So he's got a small antenna, much smaller than my system, and no preamp up there. So he's up a little higher in elevation. Oh, he's only running what are you running, 70? He's only running 70 watts, and you're running about the same there. So about the same power as you have, Gary. But a small 5-foot, 6-foot boom or something like that, as I recall, or maybe it's an 8-foot boom. He's got some junker that I gave him up there. Anyway, that's what he's using here on the Bozo Net. Currently, he'll probably have more up there later, but right now that's what it is. Go ahead, Gary.
Okay, well, thanks for the info. Yes, it sounds good. I can understand the preamp would be very helpful, but it's amazing that, 70 watts. So it is full on 432. Who would know? But I like the band. The noise is very low and it's not harsh, so it's good. Anyway, 73 again, K6MYC, W679.
Okay, 73, Gary. We'll see you Sunday night. Okay, Rob, KM6SR, if you're still there, what's our number, Judy?
Just FYI, Rob should be gone. He said 24, and he said he submitted it. And he had asked me to relay that quite some time ago. I know he was in here after that, but he may be gone already. He wasn't feeling good.
I know he isn't. I heard the 24. We got 23, so his numbers are probably more accurate than ours. We think we missed one here. I overwrote one number, and we might have missed one that way. All right, thanks, Frank. We'll see you Saturday. In the meantime, good luck tomorrow on your projects, and we'll be here. I'll be out there probably trying to finish up the orchard wagon. W6BBS, K6MYC.
All right, well, a couple parting shots. First of all, thanks, Judy, for helping out, if she can hear me. And, Mike, that antenna, my 432 is that 16-element square boom that you did give me. But it's kind of funny because your statement was it's probably one of my old junkers I gave him. And, that may be the case. I've got many antennas that have lots of extra holes in the booms and some in elements and everything else. But, the fact of the matter is your junkers are some of the best antennas on the planet. So I don't think I got any room to complain.
Okay. No, that was an AEA. That was probably one of the prototypes of the AEA antenna that we made special, and that was sold under their brand name.
Yeah, roger that. I remember that. I never think about it at the time, but yeah, you've mentioned that before.
Yeah. Anyway, it's a good antenna. It was computer designed, so it's pretty damn good and pretty close to optimum for its boom length, as I recall. It is wideband, as I recall. I can't remember what he wanted us to cover. I think it's 420 to 440, but it might also go on up. Doesn't matter. It's pretty good in the middle of the band. I always try to get some performance at 432. All right. Good night, Frank. Thanks, and I'll pass your blessings, your comment on to Judy there. I'm still back on Bluetooth, so I could copy Gary there I just didn't want to miss anything, and he was asking me questions about why the directors were 4 of them in the middle between the first and the last director. 4 of the middle ones were all the same length, and that was classic. And then you made the front one a little shorter, and the one in front of the driven element a little longer for matching. And he didn't quite understand that. Wanted to make sure it was okay, and I said, yes, it is. 73 K6MYC. Good night, all.
Yeah, wait till he runs across one of the ones that, as you're going along, one of the long ones, that you're going along and they get shorter and shorter and shorter, and then all of a sudden they start kind of growing out a little bit again. You got a few short ones in there just to tune something or do something, and that'll really blow his cookies. And yeah, I was hearing him most of the time. I was hearing him just not well enough to really copy, just a murmur. And the same with everybody. Rick, RQU, I could hear him in there, and once in a while a few words. All the way around the circle, I pretty much heard a little bit out of everybody, and some guys I'm just copying. So, yeah, my 280 foot of feed line is killing me a little bit, and I think if I ever get around the point of doing some preamps, this is going to be a pretty phenomenal location for this purpose. Good night, Mike. Good night, Judy, and everybody else. W6BBS.
Roger. All comments noted, Frank. Good night. Good night to you, Aaron, if you're still there. 73 all. K6MYC.
Yeah, good night, Mike. And Frank, one more thing.
Only one? Darn.
Yeah, just one. If you ever want a side quest, hooking the rotors up to the streaming computer could be beneficial if we could display the beam heading on the stream. Just put that little tidbit in the back of your mind. You know, low priority, and of course hooking up stuff from the barn would be more complicated, but it would be actually kind of cool to just stand in the corner, you know, have the beam heading. You know, not control the rotors, but just know what direction they're pointed.
Okay, now listen to this. I know exactly how you're displaying the battery, okay? And for example, with PST rotator, we could do exactly the same thing, and we could put in that same space, or whatever space you deem, you could either have it a digital readout, which is in one box, or a little bit bigger, you have an actual, like a compass looking thing with an arrow pointer on it. So you could go either way, and if you had the space, because these things don't go full screen, you can get them pretty big, but after you get them so big they don't do anything anymore. You just get a big old space, but the actual usable screen stays the same size. It's an old DOS thing. But the boxes, you could even go so far as to display the whole box. Point number one. Point number two, if you've got that up on the screen there, and of course you'd have to see that on the screen, since they're small, you could overlay some of the stuff I know you like active. You could actually control his rotors. It's got presets, all kinds of stuff in it, but all you got to do at one spot is just type in the number you want and hit go, and it takes the thing to that. So, for example, if he got lost and you wanted to steer him back, things like that, all of that is very doable. Getting the rotors hooked up and the software installed and all that's a piece of cake. M Squared actually has a licensed copy that we were given that we all still use. Technically, it's KR70 Roberts license, but that was just the ham call that we used at the time. But anyway, point being, everything you're saying is quite doable, and the display would work just exactly like you do your battery.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I can selectively screen capture any part of a window. Yeah, it's very, OBS is very customizable, and we can always move stuff around. Yeah, I think basically the only thing we would, for the shack stuff, we just need some USB to serial converters and the cables and plugging it all in. Getting a feed from the barn would be a little bit more complicated. We'd need some kind of a network serial device to get those serial signals back to the computer in the house. But anyways, yeah, that's what I figured all it would be is software and some USB to serial converters and a couple cables.
Yeah, we'd have to get the USB ports, and here's the thing is, I don't know if doing the barn would necessarily be worthwhile. on one hand because it's only one band, one net, one night. Otherwise, it's a backup. Well, wait a minute. Let's see. From the barn, we do 1296, and he does 2 meters from the barn, 2 beds. Okay, so we wouldn't have to serial port all the way back to the house and all that stuff. All we do is we put just another computer out in the barn and put it on the network, and give you access to that, and then it's just short cables and all that. Unless you find some reason it has to all be on one computer. Over.
Well, the screen capture, it's all got to be on the streaming computer, but there are ways to shuffle serial ports, between computers. You can also potentially do it with a Raspberry Pi. I actually do that. That's how I control my 9700 and get my logging program to talk to my 9700. I actually have a little piece of software that runs on a Raspberry Pi, and my 9700 USB port is connected to the Raspberry Pi, and I can get serial data over the network to control the radio and over via the Raspberry Pi to my software. So yeah, it wouldn't necessarily require a full computer. We just need something out there with a USB port and a network connection. And of course, we'd have to probably put a little 5-port switch out in the barn because right now it's just a single connection to the radio, but that's something that's easy to fix.
Okay, first of all, we don't need much of a computer, and that between Mike and I, we would probably have a computer for the barn if we wanted. Second of all, what do you think of this idea? We got a computer set up in the barn, and blah, blah, blah. Now, it's on the network, it's everything. You still log into the same one in the radio room that you already do, only on that one, you have a remote desktop, and you remote desktop into the other one. And now you've got everything, I believe, because you've already got audio coming in through your other cable, so that gives you a visual control of the rotors.
Right, but it would still be easier to just run software that would shuffle the serial port around. There's actually a free piece of software. So, for example, if you put a Windows computer in the barn, there's this software called Virtual Here, and it literally allows you to move USB devices between computers over a network connection, and if you're only using one USB device, it's free. So basically, we would only need the rotor software on the streaming computer, and the other one would just be there to have USB ports.
Okay, well, one issue would be we couldn't do the 1296 because that rotor and that old rotor and control box and all that, we're not going to be able to connect that to a computer. But the other one is an Orion, and so we could do that. And it's up to you on how you would do all that USB stuff. I guess your goal would be to have the USB ports in the barn that are plugged into the control boxes actually routed all the way back to the computer in the radio room, correct?
Yeah, that is correct. And then we would just run the software on there, and depending on what net it is, we would connect to the appropriate rotor. But basically, if we do this, we would start with the house, see how it goes, and then figure out a solution for the barn. So the solution, we'd start with the stuff that's right next to the computer and is super easy, and then we'd figure out the barn.
I got a comment for you. Basically, we've got three rotor controllers. If you leave out 6, you only have to deal with 2 rotor controllers. When I use the EME array, you don't want to get that one tangled in there. So my 432 and 222 is one controller, and 2 meters and 1296 is the other one. If you don't worry about 6, then you can just do it with just 2 of the OR 2800 controllers, one in the shack here and one in the barn.
Yeah, roger that, but there's no reason not to do 6. I mean, if we're doing everything else, it's just one more cable to one more control box. That part of it is easy. Mike, your 1296 from the barn is on that other tower, that little tower with the other rotor, isn't it?
No. That's all backup, 432 and 220. The 1296, the 2 meters and the 6 meters is all on the big tower. If we run 6 from the barn, it's all on the same controller.
Oh, okay. So there we go, Aaron. Yeah, one control line coming from the barn, and that does that, and we're good to go.
So yeah, that was my idea. I've had this idea for a while, but of course, this was early on when we were, getting everything else moved out. Well, we've been doing this, almost, over 9 months at this point. So the streaming part's working fine. I was just like, okay, let's see what else we can throw at it.
Well, it's something Mike and I have talked about a little bit in the past, and we actually loaded the software on his computer at one time. The problem is that they're not really Windows boxes or anything, and so we just couldn't blow the screen up at any point big enough to where he could see what he was doing. Because that was my idea, boy, if we could get PSC rotor and just take that one part that is just his director and fill the screen, he just got to click on the dial, and he knows where he's at on the dial looking at it. But it doesn't allow you to do that. But for this type of thing, it would work beautiful. And, I believe it's all networkable and all that. I will look at it a little bit and see if there isn't a solution already built into it as far as networking goes. But, no, everything is absolutely doable, and we have almost everything except for the USB serial ports, and we can easily get those.
One break. Can I ask a question, Frank?
Yes, sir.
Okay. When Russ comes down tomorrow, he's going to have a moonrise at about 6, a little after 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock in the evening. Is the computer all still tied in for the 697, so we can run JT on the big computer here?
I did not touch any of that, as far as I am aware.
Okay. Well, so when you go into the screen of the computer and you have all the icons there, what's the one that he's going to click on to get JT65 on the screen?
Oh, it's whatever the it's actually going to be. He's probably using WSJTX now, and I don't remember exactly what it looks like, Mike. But he's the one working on it. He's active in it right now, and so he knows what he's looking for. I just can't remember at the moment.
Okay, well, it's still, if you haven't changed anything, it's on there. We don't have rotor control from the computer, and we don't want it right now. I'd rather have him do it manually. And the only other thing that I want to do is calibrate azimuth and elevation when he's here. Elevation's easy, but I haven't calibrated azimuth very accurately, so we probably want to find the sun location and run him a cal on the sun early afternoon, and then when we're all ready to go. And he doesn't have, I don't think we ever downloaded WSJTX on here, but he probably can do that and put it on here, and then he can run either or both programs, depending on what he wants to do, right?
Yeah, okay. Well, I guess we doubled there, Mike. I was just saying, even if nothing else is there, Russ in no time can download the software, install it, hook it up. He knows how to do all that. And then Dave is also in there, and then Aaron telling us we're doubling. So go ahead, Mike.
I don't know what's Dave and Aaron got to do with this?
Oh, they just both said we're doubling. Nice double at the same time.
Okay. Well, I think what you said is what I said was, and you said the same thing. Russ can probably download WSJTX, but I don't think it's on the computer at this time. And then he can choose whether he wants to run WSJT or WSJTX. He can choose that, but all that's in the computer, and the computer is interfaced nicely to the 697, right?
Yeah, roger that. All that is golden.
Hopefully it's all connected. We've been diddling around back there, but hopefully it all works on the computer. We'll find that out quickly, and I'm just saying at about 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, we may end up with a phone call to you if there's some question about the computer screen and what's up and where it is. Over.
Yeah, Roger. And Aaron, you may be able to answer this better. One thing I just realized, Mike, and Aaron can correct me if I'm wrong, but he may have to move the USB cable for the 9700 from the battery computer, the Bozo computer, over to your computer.
No, we're talking to the 9700s over the network port, so if there's anything plugged into the USB, that's going off somewhere else.
Okay, then I'm wrong there, Mike. So, no, you should be golden because none of that's ever been changed unless something was accidentally unplugged. You should be live.
Okay, super. Thanks, guys. Aaron, I don't know if I've got your phone number. Let me write your phone number down quickly if I have to make a quick call. Over.
Hey, Mike, I will just send it to your phone right now. I'll just send it, and you'll have his full information. And when your phone dings or whatever, just hand it to Judy, and she can accept the information, and he'll be in your contacts. Over.
Very good. Thank you. 7-3, guys. We got to go get some our dinner, our left, not dinner, but dessert. 7-3.
Hey, Aaron, is it okay if I give Mike your phone number?
Yeah, he should have it. Well, at least, I've called him, but he probably can't see that it's me calling him. He just picks it up. But going back to a previous set, I think I have some USB to serial converters sitting in a drawer somewhere. So this might be as simple as, just plug it in stuff that I already have.
Yeah, okay. One thing about it, if there's some of the older ones, like I've had old key spans and stuff like that used to work perfectly, and then you get one computer version newer, and then none of that stuff works anymore. So if they're too old, sometimes it's a nightmare. But by the other hand, I've spent hours digging for drivers and gotten some stuff to work.
Yeah, so the trick is, let me see, I think I have one plugged in because I've been using it. Yeah, so the trick is you need ones with the FTDI chip in them, which is, and of course the annoying part is there's like counterfeit FTDI serial converter things that you can get out on the internet. Anyway, so I have USB to serial converters that I know work with Windows 10, and they should work with Windows 11 no problem because, shoot, this one that I have plugged in is using a Microsoft driver at the moment. So, no, it's an FTDI driver, but it's Microsoft signed. Anyways, they should work on the Windows 11 computer no problem.
Okay, very good. Yeah, and that's the deal. You need one USB port for each tower, for each control box. And so we got one tower has the 220 and 432 on it. We got one tower that has 6 meters, and then that's in the house. And then we got one tower out in the barn that has both of them on it, 2 meters and 1296. I think it's also got 6 meters up there, but that's beside the point. So yeah, 3 of them would power the 3 control boxes. And then just me doing my little monkeying around with them and making them talk, and we go from there.
Yeah, so we just, I just need to know if the connector on the controllers is male or female, and then, and if it needs to be like a null modem cable, or it's like crossed over, or it's a normal, so basically we got to figure out how the serial signal is configured on that port, and if it's male or female, and then I can go rummaging through my bin. So, but yeah, it's all doable.
Yeah, okay, on the back of all these M-Square control boxes, that's a female 9-pin serial standard, the chassis mount, and it's a straight-through cable, no modem stuff or anything like that. And I generally try to buy like 6-foot-long serial port converters with 6-foot cables on them, and that usually gets me to where I want to go. And otherwise, a standard serial cable. If the port itself is short, then a standard serial cable. No null modem. No null modem. Over.
Okay, that makes it easy. Yeah, I know some of these converters that I have cords. I think some of them came with USB extension cords so that you could at least get them a couple feet away from the computer. And then I guarantee you that in my box I have like a couple 6-foot serial cables. So, as I said, I might already have everything we need to at least plug in the two in the house.
Yeah, and I'm kind of tired, and you heard my mouth locking up there. Amazing. Frank's mouth is locking up. Everybody say thank you. I was just realized, yeah, we can use short USB extension cables as well, which I have a bunch of. And so, yeah, I could probably supply all in fact, I know I could supply all cabling except the actual serials, because I'm not giving up mine. I've got a bunch here, but they're all tied into this rack in front of me, and they're just waiting for me to put up my EME systems, because I've got 6 Orion controllers, 3 azimuth and 3 elevation that are all plugged in there and ready to plug into the software. So, in fact, I've got a computer sitting here that's an old kind of a junker computer. That's literally my system. I got an older, low RAM and all that, but all of them plug into that, and it's got its own little monitor, and they're all on the same rack with all the controllers. And so I can have any of my controllers up on the screen on that one computer, and then my other computers are not affected. I've got one computer that I can be logged into, like a chat page for EME or something, and then my computer that runs the station, JG65, all that nonsense, and so it works pretty convenient. So yeah, sounds like between the two of us we could power it all, because Mikey's control boxes are, let's see, we're going to go to that, so furthest control box, we're going to go about 6 feet, and it's kind of just straight across the shelf and down. You know where his stuff there. Maybe even 8 feet. I can't remember exactly which control box is which on the other end, but it doesn't matter. Max 8 feet, and we're at the computer. So it's all absolutely doable, and I have the software here. I just got to take it down there in case I didn't leave it on his computer somewhere. Although he should have it. It's on the M2 servers and everything else.
Okay, yeah, I'll go take a look at what I got. I know I can give up so most of my cables came from the shack I had at my parents' house, and of course that was, over a decade ago, and so I was using much older radios that all had serial ports on them, and was running, ham radio deluxe back when it was free. And so I know at one point my desktop at my parents' house, I probably had 4 or 5 serial converters plugged into that stupid computer to control all the radios and the rig blaster and all the other random crap I had to use. And of course I use serial all the pick and time at work, because all the network equipment and stuff that I deal with at work, all the Cisco stuff, all still uses serial for console management. But other than that, I know I got a bunch of serial stuff sitting in a drawer. So I'll go take a look at what I got, and we'll see if I can make it up the hill at some point in the next couple weeks, and we can start plugging stuff in. Alrighty. My one little thing turned into a big conversation, as I predicted. W6BBS, K6USY.
K6USY, W6BBS. And I'm going to make it even bigger, because I'm going to tell you a quick little story. And one of these days I'll dig up a picture, and you can actually see a picture of what I'm talking about. But before I got into ham radio, my big thing was I got into computers pretty early, and I got into bulletin boards. And my first BBS, I actually bought a serial driver, a binary serial driver, to drive the serial port to hook to a modem on a Radio Shack color computer, and I wrote my own BBS in BASIC and whatnot. So I'm not a computer programmer, mind you. This is hobby stuff. But by the time I hit Madera, we had now come across this Windows 95 and Windows 95, and we could do all this multitasking and blah, blah, blah. Actually, we started with Windows 4 groups doing it, but I was running Synchronet BBS software by this point, and you could network up to 250 nodes in this, but of course you need lines connected to it. So I had in Madera, I had 3 phone lines coming into my house. One was my voice line, 2 phone lines for my BBS. Those 2 phone lines were hooked to 2 modems in one computer that was running Slackware Linux. And what that computer did is it answered the phone, and it put up on your screen a little message. Hi, you must be calling for the BBS. Let's try Windows Node 1. And then that computer pulled the first Windows machine in my chain, Windows 95 machine, and if it answered, it connected you. If it didn't, it gave you a message, sorry, Windows Node 1 crashed, let's go to Node 2. And I had 16 Windows computers running and 1 Linux box that never, ever crashed. But by the time, if I worked a 16, 18-hour day at Madera Pumps, by the time I got home, I would be down to maybe only 2 or 3 or maybe no Windows machines. Maybe the BBS had crashed all of them. And I have this picture of me. My hair was pretty long back then, and I just woke up. My hair's sticking straight out, and I'm sitting there, I'm drinking my morning coffee and checking email or something, and there's a caption, morning coffee and email. A guy could run a third world nation on this setup.
Yeah, and you could probably launch nukes.
Yeah, it was crazy. 16 computers to get the bulletin board to run 24 hours a day without crashing, because it worked great when it was great, but Windows 95 with when you're multitasking, man, you had the blue screen of death was all the time, and so the only way to get around it. In fact, that led me, another friend of mine, Gus, you may even know, KF6ZXO Gus. Do you know him?
The call sign sounds familiar.
Yeah, big guy, used to be around the club and all that, big with OES and all that, worked over at All Phase Medallion, all that. So anyways, Gus and his wife, they found out about what I was doing, so his wife talked to me, and they had the same problem. Well, their issue was they both had Windows computers and only 1 phone line, and so they could only be on the internet 1 at a time. Can you hook it up so we can both go online? So I built them a Linux box and put it under his bench, and after it was all set up, it did not have a monitor, a keyboard, nothing hooked to that except for a network cable and a phone line. And what they literally did when they wanted to get on the internet, they reached under there and hit the power button on that box. It came alive. They heard the modem dial and handshake, and when the modem went quiet, that's when they turned on their Windows computers. And when they booted up, there was one icon that connected them to the Linux box. They just a link they clicked up there on their desktop, and they could both be on the internet. And then they both had a command on their desktop, a little batch file, and it was basically the Linux command shut down now, which I'm sure you know about Linux. That's going to shut everything down right now. So when they were done on the internet, shut down now, the Linux box had just shut down. And that was how they did internet for years. Years later, they got cable modems, everything, and then a couple...
That's pretty funny. Oh, man. Oh, there we go. Okay.